This is the Coastal Bend's most comprehensive high school football show, Friday Night Fever, proudly brought to you by CCRV, keeping RVs affordable and fun.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Port Lavaca. It's the final week of the regular season. Hard to believe it's here. Alan Harwood with Paul Alexander for what was supposed to be for the district championship, Port Lavaca versus Calallen.
And a much different game than anybody would have anticipated. It became a defensive struggle. Nobody would have thought that.
That's for sure. Let's roll the highlights and let's get you started on what happened tonight on a cold night. Wind chill factor 47 degrees. Here come the Cats, 9-0, looking to capture the outright title, and of course you pass away those big bad Sand Crabs. Boy, they big points all year long. And for Coach Phil Danaher, well, he was trying to become the first Texas high school football coach to ever win 400 games at one school. Now, turnovers would play a huge role in this game. Cats had a good drive here, but they fumbled the ball away.
Calallen knew they had to win the turnover battle tonight, and instead they give it away on their first possession.
That led to a Sand Crab field goal, 7-0 first quarter. Second quarter now, Cats are driving. They were able to move the ball, but Charlie Hill dragging tacklers. This is a controversial call. Apparently there's a fumble, but we can't see it here.
Wildcat coaching staff was incensed. They said the ball carrier's forward progress had been stopped. The officiating crew did not see it that way. They turn it over yet again.
All right, it was huge because just a few plays later, it would lead to this Connor Kessler long 37-yard run to make it 10-0 at halftime.
If Kessler is on the perimeter one-on-one, it's over. He's too big, he's too strong, he's too fast.
And it took the Sand Crabs just 1 minute to score in the second half. And after a long kickoff return, here's what happened. Steve Johnson barrels in at 17-0.
Johnson, who had been bottled up most of the night, and we knew that was a critical possession. They got the second half kickoff. It's a 17-0 game.
This will be Calallen's only score of the game. That's quarterback Jared Garza runs it in the third quarter to make it 17-6. And that's the way this game would end. It was just one of those games where turnovers killed the Cats and the Sand Crabs took advantage.
That was a 94-yard drive, by the way. Here's a game-sealing interception. And it was just a little too late for Calallen. And keep in mind, they also got that PAT blocked. And that left it 11-point game at 17-6. Also, Calallen had an excellent opportunity at the end of the third quarter. Went for it on 4th and 2, deep in Calhoun territory. Didn't get it. That may have been the final nail.
All right, so the Sand Crabs will share the district championship with Calallen. Port Lavaca will be the number 1 seed. Calallen will be the number 2 seed. Wildcats still guaranteed a home game a week from tonight at Phil Danaher Field. So analyze this game for us.
Well, here was the Calallen defensive game plan for sure. It was stop the fullback at all costs, and the truth is it worked. Calhoun fullback Steve Johnson entered the game with more than 1,900 rushing yards on the season and was averaging more than 9 yards per carry. But Wildcat defensive coordinator Steve Campbell sent everybody at the fullback, and I mean Calallen was stuffing him time and time again. This was the first time all year that Port Lavaca was repeatedly looking at 2nd and long and even 3rd and long. Johnson finished with 68 yards, but with the fullback shut down, the Sand Crabs moved to the second part of the triple option. Senior stud quarterback Connor Kessler really started hurting the Wildcats with the keep on the perimeter. He wound up with 124 yards on the night. And Calhoun wins the game and becomes the number 1 seed in the district, despite the fact they did not attempt a single forward pass tonight.
Yeah, pretty amazing, that's for sure. Well, again, that's your final score here in Port Lavaca. Another huge game in Alice tonight. Roland Rodriguez is there to see if Gregory-Portland or Alice would advance to the playoffs. Roland?
Staying in this competitive District 15-5A, Alice hosting Gregory-Portland. Pretty simple here. If Alice wins, they make the playoffs. If GP wins, they make the playoffs. The last time Alice beat GP was 2013. Let's see how 2019 treats the Coyotes. Here we go, late first quarter, no score. Quarterback Isaiah Aguilar calls his own number, 5, touchdown, Coyotes up 7-0. We start the second quarter, GP on the move, 1st and goal, and out of nowhere, RJ Salas with the interception. He is gone. Wait, maybe not. After breaking at least 6 tackles, he is gone yet again. How about for a 100-yard touchdown? Alice on top, 14-0. Late second quarter, RJ Salas with a 20-yard touchdown. It's now a 22-0 ball game after the Coyotes go for 2. Now with 5 seconds to play in the second quarter, Wildcat quarterback Jeremy Baker finds Marcus Arroyo for his 22nd touchdown pass of the year to make it a 22-7 ball game at the half. And Alice cruise on this Friday night with a pretty easy 43-7 victory. How's that sound, Coach?
It sounds pretty good, you know. It was a win that we needed, and very proud of our kids and our coaches.
You guys not only snapped a 2-game losing streak, but we advanced to the playoffs. How about that? Can we say the Alice Coyotes are back?
Well, I don't know about that. We felt like we were never gone. I guess you're the one that counted us out, or what?
I didn't count you out.
Okay. No, we very proud of.
Put me on the spot, brother.
Very proud of our coaches and our kids. You know, 2-game losing streak. We've struggled against GP historically. Alice has, you know, and so. Yeah,
the last time y'all beat them was actually 2013.
And then before that was in the 90s, I think. You know, late 90s, early 2000s. So, yeah, it was one that we needed to win, and we prepared well all week. Had phenomenal game plan defensively, special teams, and offensively, and then our kids executed.
All right, Coach, really appreciate it. Congratulations yet again. Way to come back. Way to end the season. Alice takes care of business, beating GP to advance to the playoffs, which means since Calallen lost, that means Alice will take on Mercedes on the road. Alan?
Thank you, Roland, and congratulations to Alice. You have one more stat, a big stat you want to throw at us real quick.
Yeah, really, the Calallen defense tonight was magnificent. Keep in mind, this was a Calhoun offense that was averaging 480 yards and 50 points per game. Calallen actually outgained Calhoun tonight, 293 to 238. They get 17 points instead of their average of 50. A magnificent job by the Calallen defense, but they came up short. And I want to say this too, the Calhoun defense played better than we had seen them play all year long, especially one-on-one tackling in the open field. They were good.
All right, again, 17-6 your final. When we come back, Jeff Dubroff will join us. He's got a lot of highlights of some really important ball games. We're back with more of the Fever right after this.
Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. Fine.
Friday Night Fever is brought to you by CCRV, Thomas Span Clinic, Mattress Firm, and Good and Crisp Chicken.
Hi, welcome back to the Friday Night Fever live in Port Lavaca, where the Sand Crabs have beaten the Wildcats tonight 17-6. And we got Jeff Dubroff live in the studio, a much warmer studio with all the highlights of the other games. Jeff?
Yeah, Alan, it's a little warmer in here. You're right. It's the final week of the regular season. We begin over at Cavness. history on the line. The Miller Bucks seeking their first undefeated regular season since 1955. Let's check it out. They're facing Moody, and if you remember last year, Moody defeated Miller, ultimately ending their season short of a playoff run, and it looked good for the Trojans early. Nathaniel Sada breaking loose. He's down at the 1, no touchdown, so they're going to turn to Amarian Johnson. He's going to plow his way in. They're up 7-0. Is another upset in the works, stopping Miller from an undefeated season? Well, no, because they're going to go to their running backs. Marcel Davis, a nice gain, running hard. Now they turn to the sophomore, Macaulay Williams, who's really been a revelation for this team. He has a bright future. And then Andrew Body, the junior quarterback, is going to do it with his legs, getting his way into the end zone. The route was on over at Buck Stadium. A 10-0 season complete. Miller goes on to win 54-21. How about over at Buck Stadium, where Veterans Memorial taking on Carroll? Vets wins, they're in the playoffs. They lose, and Victoria East is in the playoffs. Kobe Piper, one of the best running backs in all of South Texas, takes it in. Beautiful running, found the hole there. They're up 8-0. Now how about backup quarterback Ryan Hinojosa? Beautiful pass by Bradley Berta. Even better camera shot by our own Cameron Gorman. More Kobe Piper though, untouched. They're up 23-0. And Kobe Piper is gonna get the hat trick, folks. Another one untouched. They go up 30-0. And Veterans Memorial, they're going to roll into the playoffs. 58-14 is the final. Let's go over to West Oso, where they were hosting Ingleside. Winner of this game gets into the playoffs. Losers out. Malachi Flores, double fake, lobs up. Wide open, Anthony Pena. No one around him. Doesn't get much easier than that. He's going to score 7-0 West Oso. Ingleside, after a long drive, caps it off. Damian Davila just right up the middle. They missed the extra point, though. 7-6. Now Flores. This time, Ernest Rodella fighting his way into the end zone. He was in, no fumble. Ingleside now trying to make something happen. Fumble, and it's a scoop and score for the Bears. West Oso, this one just went final. They're off to the playoffs. 28-13 is the final. Bears off to the playoffs yet again. Moving on. How about Orange Grove and Sinton? Sinton wins this game. They're going to lock up the 2 seed. Orange Grove already in the playoffs. Up the middle they go. More offense now. Orange Grove over the middle, but this is picked off. Look at this. Nice play. Robert Hughes with a nice pick. Reading that perfectly. Turns it over to Rene Galvan, the quarterback. He's going to take it. Bounces outside, trying to make something happen. He gets the corner and the end zone. Sinton rolling in this one. Orange Grove now trying to do something. Tipped up. It's 42-28 in the fourth. Sinton looks like they're going to wrap up that number 2 seed. Let's wrap things up from a game that happened early this morning. This was for the district title, London and Odom. London looking for their first ever district title. Ty Leonard, play action. Danye Castaneda. Yeah, he's in the end zone. Touchdown. They're up early. They missed the extra point. It's 6-0. How about some defense now? Nico Garcia picked off by Ryan Rivas. He's got Green ahead of him. Pick 6. Early, 13-0 London in the first quarter. A district title heading their way. London wins the district championship. 22-7 is the final. Do not go anywhere. We're not even close to done, because after the break, Chelsea Torres is going to join us, and she's got all the action from Flower Bluff. Don't go away.
Mic check, Chelsea. Thank you.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check, mic check.
Friday Night Fever is brought to you by CCRV, Thomas Fan Clinic, Mattress Firm, and Good and Crisp Chicken.
Welcome back. For a lot of teams, their playoff seeds are set. Flower Bluff, they're locked into the 3 seed after Victoria West defeated Ray last night. Still one game to play. They're hosting King, and Chelsea Torres was there. Chelsea, some of these games, they can kind of relax, look forward to the playoffs. Was that the case tonight for Flower Bluff?
Surprisingly, no, it wasn't. They really left it all out on the field tonight. It was good. And you'll know by the end of this game what the final score was. But over at Hornets Stadium, Flower Bluff looks to secure that playoff spot against a 2-7 King Mustang team. So how did they fare? Let's go and get to those highlights. Within the first few minutes of the first, Isaac Miles made a big run to get the Hornets into the red zone. And that was Drew Schmidt to number 6, Christian Ramos, for a Hornets touchdown. They go for 2 and they're already up 8-zip. Now less than 6 minutes, a handoff to Isaac Miles again. Watch this as he just goes down straight through a Mustang's hole and he's off to the races. That's a 66-yard run by Isaac. Now King couldn't really get anything going past this Hornets defense. Mustangs running back Josiah King just stuffed 1 too many times. Now less than a minute in the first, again, quarterback Drew Schmidt, watch this one, a 42-yard cannon to Michael Newcomer. You've heard his name all year long, and that's a 3rd Hornets touchdown. Now that final for tonight, Flower Bluff would come out on top 42-6 over King Mustangs. Now Flower Bluff will play Rio Grande City. They've only had 1 loss their entire season, and that'll start up next week on the 15th. Now coming back right after this break, we will have plenty of more scores and highlights coming from Jeff Dubroff. Make sure you stay tuned for the Friday Night Fever.
Touchdown.
Friday Night Fever is brought to you by CCRV, Thomas Fan Clinic, Mattress Firm, and Good and Crisp Chicken.
All right, we've had plenty of highlights from tonight's action. What about other scores from around the area? We're going to have you covered right here. A district title game, Refugio and Three Rivers. Well, Refugio is going to run away with it, 57-14 in the 4th quarter. Somerset and Toloso Midway, 23-13 in the 4th. A lot of these games still in action. Lyford, though, defeats Bishop 34-7. Aransas Pass holding a 10-point lead over Santa Gertrudis Academy in the 4th. Moving on, Hebronville defeats Taft 49-18. San Diego falls to Mathis 35-33. Rockport Fulton beating Robstown 49-6 in the 3rd. Natalia falls to Skidmore Tynan 52-21. Bim Bolt defeats Riviera 28-12. Agua Dulce and Bruni still in progress. And finishing it up, St. John Paul 41-23 the final over San Antonio St. Anthony. Lots of good games. We're going to keep you updated tomorrow on Chris 6 News about who will be going to the playoffs and their matchup. For now, Alan, Paul, I know you're cold, but finish this thing strong.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Yes, 17-6 your final tonight here in Port Lavaca. Calhoun wins. They share the title with Calallen. That's the end of the regular season. Next week, we got the playoffs.
Defensive struggle tonight. Both these teams advancing to the playoffs. It's postseason time. Let's get busy.
All right, we'll see you next time for the playoff edition of the Friday Night Fever. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Friday Night Fever is a presentation of Chris Communications, brought to you by CCRV, Thomas Spann Clinic, Mattress Firm, and Good and Crisp Chicken.